Okay, so if you are watching this video now, you should have completed the 10 questions on Go Formative. And now we are moving on to solving one-step inequalities. So the way we solve them is basically the same way we solve equations. The only difference is that instead of an equal sign, they are going to be inequality signs, but we solve them the exact same way. In these notes, if you have your packet on page 16, and if you do not have your packet, that is fine. You can just write this down in a notebook or on a separate sheet of paper. So this first one, we have 4x is greater than 28. First thing we do when we solve, same thing, draw that line down the middle through that sign. Just like you would the equal sign, draw it through the inequality sign. In between 4 and x, so when they're next to each other, remember that means multiplication. So we need to do the inverse operation, the opposite operation. So this is saying 4 times x. So we need to do the opposite of that, which is divide by 4 on both sides. Okay, opposites cancel. We're left with x, and it's not an equal sign this time. Remember, it's a greater than sign. So x is greater than, and then 28 divided by 4 is 7. So our answer here is x is greater than 7. Remember, it's not an equal sign. We're not using equal signs. That's the main difference with what we're doing here. There's no equal sign. It's a greater than sign. Okay, what does your solution mean? Our solution means that x is greater than 7. You just need to write it out. X is greater than 7. And what are some possible solutions? If x is greater than 7, that means it can't be 7, it can't be equal, it has to be greater. So possible solutions are 8, 10, and you can list any number greater than 7, 14, 100. All of those numbers are greater than 7. Okay? The second one, x minus 20, and we would read this as is less than or equal to, because the smaller side comes first. So is less than or equal to. Same thing. Draw the line through the inequality sign, and we do the opposite. So if this says minus 20, we do the opposite. We do plus 20. That's 20 on both sides. Okay? Opposites cancel. Over here, we're left with x, and it's not an equal sign, right? It's an inequality sign. It's less than or equal to, and then 34 plus 20 is 54. So x is less than or equal to 54. That should be our final answer. What does our solution mean? You just need to write what it means. X is less than or equal to 54. That's what that means. And what are possible solutions? So if x is less than or equal to 54, that means x can be 54 or anything less. So 50, 40, 35. You can even go in the negatives, like -2. Anything less than or equal to 54. For this one, same deal. Draw a line through your inequality sign. This says x, and remember, fractions mean division. So this is saying x divided by 3 is greater than or equal to 12. So it says x divided by 3. We do that inverse operation. We do times 3 on both sides. Because the opposite of divide by 3 is multiply by 3. Our opposites cancel. Over here, we're left with x, and not an equal sign. It's greater than or equal to, and 12 times 3 is 36. Okay, so our final answer here is x is greater than or equal to 36. So what does our solution mean? X is greater than or equal to, equal to 36. That's what our solution means. So any number greater than or equal to 36. So that means it can be 36 because it can be equal, or anything greater. So it can be 40, it can be 50, It can be 123. It can be 400. Anything greater than or equal to 36 can be a solution. Okay? And remember, you can pause the video at any time to get this written down or write down any questions that you want to ask me in an email or during office hours. Okay, next, you will practice with solving inequalities and stating solutions. You have a choice here. So after this video is over, you're going to click next and you'll have one option you can pick. You can pick a Kahoot, and with the Kahoot, you need to put in your first and last name, okay? Or you can do this practice link. You can click on your choice, so both links will be in there, pick one or the other, complete it, and then you can move on to the next section of the module. Okay, this whole thing is to practice with solving inequalities. Right, if you have any questions about them, again, you can email me or come to the office hours. So once you're done practicing with one of these things, what's next? Click next after completing your practice, and then there's going to be a 10-question quiz. This quiz is going to be for a quarter 3 grade. Okay, this will be the last grade for quarter 3. This is a chance for you to bring your grade up in quarter 3. It's a 10-question quiz. Remember, I just said it, it's a quarter 3 grade. Once you have completed that quiz, and make sure you're pressing mark as done as you go through the module, okay? Then you have finished this week's module. So, to wrap up everything that you are expected to do this week. First thing you should have done the discussion post. You needed to watch the video for the notes from reading inequalities and doing the Go Formative practice. Then you should have watched the notes for solving one-step inequalities and choosing one of those practices, either the Kahoot or the online game. And the last thing you have to do is that 10-question quiz that is a quarter 3 grade. Once you complete all of this, then you are finished with the module. Okay, if you have any questions, email me or come to the office hours during your assigned period time. Okay? Thanks, guys.